It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Welcome, therefore, then, to Larpgate Player's Handbook, the new meta Evangelical Lion stream for January 13th, 2025. The full moon is about to occlude Mars, and so we'll get a little bit of relief from all the Mars retrograde that's been all over us. I got a couple premieres chasing me down, but we got just a little bit to go through, and then...
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
And I have no idea what's going on with Teo, but apparently Mark Jackson would like to give him some money. Please get him to set up a Ko-fi link. Mine is working, as Afro Pilotson has just demonstrated. Thank you very much, Jeff. All right. Well, so this guy, Pastor Paul, I do adjunct professing on sometimes. He's making this new word. It's a neologism, they call it. It's back in the old days when we still used hashtags, I would consider it like a fireball. You're trying to cast fireball, and if it catches, it like reshapes, like lights up the sky of the memosphere over all social networking. He's trying with this word something. Here's Baxter trying to explain. Oh, wait, you can't get... I'm in a hurry. You haven't even given people savings throws against Baxter. That's not right. Risto says, I have a new ancient Greek online name. Eat lots of hummus, and I'm growing my beard out. Is that LARPy enough? And I say no. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. You are swimming in mind control, whether that's astroturf phenomenons trying to influence your attention, advertisements trying to obtain your dollars, or me trying to... You're swimming in mind control. So here on the Grim Grizz Show, you get a savings throw against it. It works like this. There are forces within you that you can use to resist the mind control, such as your will to survive, your social network, the power of your wisdom, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart. So you choose between survival, social wisdom, or heart for how you will resist the mind control. I roll these here dice, and if the die, you choose one, survival, social wisdom, or heart, comes up 10 or higher, you've made your savings throw, half damage. Yay. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survivalist coming up with the number 9 today. Socialist with a solid chakra 7. Lovers of wisdom, number of transformation 11 for you. Heart folks, parachakras 14. You'll be fine. Indigo kids, well, what do you know? The Larpgate Player's Handbook episode. Behold that decides to make an appearance. Nat 20 and +3 to next stream saves for the Indigo Kids. Well, how do you do?
Remember embody. There is no agency. We want what's best for you.
This is how I steer. This is me chasing this net job. Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this net job. Yeah. And with such. First off, let me check something. Yes, we're gonna. I have to ask everyone out there to extend a prayer to Neil from Dirtpoor Robbins, as he has sent me these wonderful decks of cards where the instructions are going to be at this website, but he forgot to turn the website on before he went out going to be a tour and a band guy. And so if you could pray that he would remember, I'd really like to know the rules to the game that come with this fancy deck. And we're down to one deck for this stream. It's there's adjustments to the new rig brought to you by the Shadow Cabal and other associated things. But anyway, the card for the show is the 10 of Spades from our fancy new Jux deck. Now, I have to inform everybody that we're currently experiencing a failure of importance. This little corner infrastructure. And the last person I saw making serious inquiries into remedying the situation was Occupy Mike. So if you could connect him to Ryan Lewis, we might be able to get it back. And if not, we might be able to get the AI to teach us how to code a new one.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
Wow. Was that in the deck the whole time, Stephen? That's amazing. The first appearance I've ever noticed of the Archangel Michael. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing a stream. It's don't forget, we have a new system that YouTube has invented for us called the Super Chat Goal. And today's Super Chat goal is a single Super Chat of $100 or more, after which I will immediately end the stream. Does it show up? Do you see that when I click it? If we, in the next 17 minutes, if a $100 super chat comes in, I will immediately end the stream. Meanwhile, back to the delivery on the title and the thumbnail. Larpgate Player's Handbook and the new meta in the Evangelical Alliance. So like I said, Pastor Paul, he's got this fireball he's trying to cast. We don't have hashtags that helped before. The hashtag would help it soar out there. But it's a neologism of the meta veggie tale. Here's Christian Baxter trying to explain.
And you have Jordan Peterson starting off in Canada in this very secular modern space, giving lectures to several thousand people about a psychological perspective on Genesis. And it's on this completely other end of the spectrum, coming out of modernity, coming out of postmodernism and hyper rationalism, and that's where he's starting. And this is, to me, it's like the snake is almost eating his tail right here when we're coming and talking to evangelical entertainment. And I want to talk about why I think all this stuff goes together and is interesting. I like what Paul is doing here. And Paul, as a quasi-evangelical himself, myself included in that, have lived in doing ministry in that space and never really coming out of it, but always looking at what was taking place with the new atheism and into Peterson, and now into this, the meta crisis and the meaning crisis and cognitive psychology and symbolism and
Now this has been going on for like a week or two, and the meta just wasn't really gelling for me. But Baxter did us the following solid.
All these, the East and the West, all these things converging, coming together, and creating this soup here in the internet, here in the digital landscape, and what is happening and what is on the other side of that, and what are we going through. It is that, and that I think that's one of the I want to look at this word even. So meta, the
This is the solid previously referenced.
Greek word for meta, meta modernism. Where's the meta? Nate Hiles conversation with Brendan and Graham Dempsey, and Brendan made the rounds, meta modern rounds to the TLC. The Greek word for meta includes after, beside, with, among, beyond, adjacent, self, a later more highly organized or specialized form, situated behind or beyond, occurring later or in succession to. So I don't know what the acronym is, but
that's where I was in Baxter's hive mind chat, trying to do him the following solid, because the acronym, it comes from this, this saying right here. I'm so meta, even this acronym, which is how you can remember that an acronym, that meta, not an acronym, but a lot of acronyms probably. But anyway, meta means self-referential and up one level. Self-referential and up one level. Now this whole thing, it didn't really gel for me until I overheard, whilst listening to Pastor Paul's January 10th live stream, the brilliant Cosmic Muffet came on to make it make sense.
Church, or it could be a good way to generate estuaries, or perhaps both. But at least for me, when I heard the metagelical phrase, what it reminded me of was the sense in which once you have a large group of people competing in any sense, you develop a meta strategy which predominates. And as soon as it predominates, new strategies become viable simply because of the expectations of the dominance. And so the lesson for me in all this is that no matter what pet thing you're into, it's going to lead a life separate from you, and it may die in front of you, and you may need to move on to something else. And that to me is the teaching of Christ in this case, is that
well, that's not important. But the thing is he laid it out in a way I could understand, which was that it's a PvP server, a big competition. And as we all know from our indoctrination into several thousand video games, many of which competitive, when the patch comes out and the video game changes in some fashion, when they decide that Reinhardt was smashing people too hard and they nerf him, then the meta of the competitive game changes, and that therefore the meta of the game, and the game is evangelicism, and that made sense. Does that make sense? Like Afriel could explain it in terms of League of Legends, of how the meta is a thing,
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Rejoice, although this world will devastate you. And rejoice, although this world will penetrate you. And rejoice, although you will not survive. Rejoice, you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice, despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that brother? Andrew Jack.
Aha, okay, and now and then to finish off tying up the thumbnail thing there, we have this. We have the new meta is evangelical lions, and see, the reason I brought to your attention that we've lost the capacities of this-little-corner.com is because I was going to use it to find the whole lions and foxes thing, because that's where the lions come in relation to the lions and foxes metaphor, which I cannot conveniently reference you due to our current structural integrity failures. But we do have the Larpgate Player's Handbook part, and that's where our good friend Sam the Cosmic Muppet cast his own magic missile on that live stream.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Paul has provided us the link clip. How convenient. Now I have to load it up for everyone. Meanwhile, here's the part where Sam does his magic missile. We'll get to that in a second.
That you stand on dust and you don't know when the hierarchy you've built your life on will be removed by God, and you will be required to cast out all your demons that used to be your angels and move on to your next thing.
But that's not it. This is it.
Anyway, I hope that was useful for someone. Oh, Grimgriz is making a handbook for choosing roles in the community. And if anyone's got interesting ideas about that, I recommend you get in touch with them.
Oh, what a great project.
It is a great project, and we'll be going into it after I play the branding and find the fox thing.
There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard going on, for sure.
Whistling past the graveyard. That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. You know,
everyone's going to see a lot of that. You understand? Unfortunately for everybody, I was not fast enough. What you got to do is you got to go down, you go to transcript. You go to transcript, you press Control F, type Fox, and find it. Here it is. 13 minutes or so. We'll take it back.
People into the core Western values. In order for that to happen, Westerners need to be confident in their values. A lot of the conference is about getting back that confidence. That's what this conference is really about, at least day one so far. I'll read a little bit more from this quote. Pareto called this the aristocracy of lions versus the aristocracy of foxes. Lions are proud, forceful aristocrats who explicitly own their position as leaders. Foxes, however, are humble servants who will forever deny that they're in charge. While lions want to run the world, foxes want to save the world. Because our new elites are foxes and not lions, they no longer feel comfortable celebrating productive habits for the rest of society. And this is the point that I've made often.
Well, I don't know what the point you were going to make is, but the new meta is the evangelical lions as defined by lionhood in that their thing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the complete delivery on the thumbnail. And stay tuned for the ever-important Larpgate Player's Handbook part.
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th, in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss, with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
That's him there in the hive mind, Occupy Mike, the last known potential savior of our this-little-corner capacity. We were able to find the Foxes clip because both Paul and Luke Thompson have an incredible catalog of all the videos they've ever made, so they can reference them in conversation. It's very convenient. Very convenient. Other half of the deck card of the show is the Six of Clubs. Six of Clubs. And now we get to the Larpgate part, and then we go watch Neil and okay. So it's always been in my head, you know, and it's hard to get the whole thing out. And so I've engaged in the use of these internet AI tools to try to extract it from myself. It started off like this, where I say, there's this thing in my head called Larpgate. I'd like you to ask me one question at a time until you feel you fully comprehend it enough to help me begin the player's handbook for it. And so it's like, what kind of game system? And I say, you know of the alternative reality games, the ARGs? The concept is kind of like that, but it's a reality augmenting game. Players craft a LARP persona through which they interface with reality online. To which it said my favorite thing. Claude is especially, it's really good to work with narcissists. If you're a narcissist, you'll like Claude better. It says to me, fascinating. It sounds like an evolution of ARGs that puts more emphasis on player-crafted identity. Could you tell me more about that? And here's the summary we got to. The nautical memory for live stream channels is evocative and could inform how we structure the classes. Let me start by mapping some potential classes based on common online content creation and community roles. And see, this is the part that I found immediately beneficial in working with it, is because, you know, I know about the Reapers and I know about how the streamers are captains, but it also highlighted the community needs of lore masters and archivists that do documentation, wiki maintenance, and connection making between the pieces, and the diplomats and bridge builders for cross and such. And so I'm thinking maybe we do me and members and Claude in sessions as streams or something. The work is happening on the Discord in a room called Larpgate Player's Handbook, to which a lot of some of the documents we've produced so far in that vein. It's if you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the players get the handbook. We're going to do that, but the handbook is going to describe the game of Larpgate, which is at this point a manifestation of the Fire Ant Flotilla. So if you'd like to play with any of that, the Discord link should still work in the description below. And now let's go see our good friends over on the Friday morning, namely.